I got this one fired up.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, I'm not putting in what I'm supposed to be putting into it. I'm only putting 250 peak.
Yeah, I got the driveway down, so it doesn't overdrive.
Roger. Sounds good though.
Yeah, well, it's working the way it's supposed to work.
Roger. I couldn't find anything that was in English on that end.
But you got to be careful not to overdrive it. You know, I'm putting 2 watts into it right now.
Yeah, this is like a 1-watt DC.
Yeah, you don't want to put any more than about 15 watts into it, or maybe 20 at the absolute most as a peak.
Roger.
27115.
On your AM radio dial.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Doug.
Hello, 27115. This is a nice classic radio. Where are they?
Oh no, I'm not all the way down, it doesn't. Maybe.
Oh, man. There he is.
What's going on, Pete?
Hello, Doug. Hello, Goose. Hello, Sandbagger. County, what? Radio. Just in case Rooster's not there. That's right. Countywide radio.
Hello, Countywide.
Hello, Goose. What's going on? It's Classic Radio Wednesday. Yeah, best night of the week. Somebody's yelling hump day, hump day. Yeah, and it's also April Fool's Hump Day, Wednesday, Classic Radio Day. Hey, April Fool's Hump Day, Wednesday. Yeah, boy. Who is that out there? Is that 123? Who is that?
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3.
Is it him? It is 123. Hiya, 123. You hear this countywide radio? Yeah, I hear you too. I knew somebody was out there jumping up and down. I thought it might have been you. I was right. Yeah, well, you're doing your thing, running around wherever it is you're running around. I hear you. 10-4 and the Meatball Bandit. Haven't heard him on the air in a while. 10-4 on the Power Supply Rescue. Is that like an emotional rescue?
We just stopped by Air Force and bought this airplane kit to him.
Yeah, and I ran across the desert on a fine... I've been to the desert on a horse with no name. Hey, you know, the ocean's just a desert with its life underground and the perfect disguise above. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's official. This fan is driving me nuts.
I got put that thing across the room.
That's why I got fans full of resistors in my power feed on my fans to my 8-pill. Because that was like, sounded like a freaking 810 Warthog taking off. Yeah, well, that's what this thing is. It's like a drone, you know. It's like I fired up the drone. Hey, I'm gonna slow this thing down. Nobody's gonna want to deal with this nonsense in the background. Yeah, I put the amp behind the desk, far away as I could get it, and I still had to slow the fans down.
Yeah, that fan's like pretty powerful.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be. I mean, you know, it could blow at half the speed and still do a pretty good job cooling. I mean, I put my hands on the front of the slots here, and I feel this air coming out at like hurricane force. It it only needs to move air. Don't have to move a hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, you know the Italians, they never do anything halfway.
I thought it was the Germans. I thought Italians would wait till after cappuccino.
Well, it's the Italians that built this amplifier.
Break.
Does anybody need an old-fashioned 4-pin Mel?
And there's the Joker.
We had a break on the distance, too.
Joker.
Hello, Joker.
Good evening, everybody. I'll step back, let that other breaker go.
You're the only breaker I heard.
I think Doug said there was another breaker, but... Alright, good evening, everyone.
Good evening time to you, Joker. It's an old-fashioned 4-pin Mel. I don't know how to explain it. It's just old.
Hello, Joker.
Good evening there, Doug.
Just because it's old doesn't mean it's obsolete.
Yeah, look at me, for example.
Why, you need it? I'll give it to you.
And if any of you are concerned, last Sunday night, we were expecting to hear some people and they never showed up. Gumby was one of them, so I just sent him a message today and told him to give us a holler.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, old guys, you know, we need to check in just to make sure we're still around.
Speaking of old guys, where's Wayne?
I was just going to do that.
Oh, I'm here. I'm listening. Alright, so thanks for checking in with us, Wayne. And we know you're still hanging about, having fun with the radio.
Hello, Wayne.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Goose, out there?
Yeah, I'm out here.
Yeah, it's vintage, 1954 pin amp heat microphone.
1950?
Amphenol, I guess that's what it is. A-M-P-H-E-N-O-L, come on.
Amphenol. Yeah.
Amphenol's been around a while.
Yeah, they make those big 4-pin clunky mic plugs that I don't like.
I got one sitting here with your name on it. Well, my name, but your name.
Right.
I gotta get it over there to you. Maybe early next week.
Yeah, things are going to start heating up around here, literally, because the weather's starting to get better and all sorts of outdoor activities are about to commence.
Sounds like a good reason to hop on the bike and take a ride over.
Yeah, probably a good point there.
I took it out the other day just because it was so nice and took it around the block so I could put the snowblower away. Pretty certain I'm done with the snowblower. But now that I put it away and it's blocked by the motorcycle, it might snow.
Yeah, well, to compound that, I drained the gas out of mine and changed the oil and put it away for the summer. So you did it and I did it, so we're in trouble.
I just moved mine. I didn't put it away yet.
Anybody need this antique 4-pin?
Yeah, I could use one.
It's yours. I'll take it off tonight and I'll give it to you when I see you.
Yeah, then you can get my courier going.
Yeah, and my Regency Imperial.
Yeah, if you got two of them, there'd be one for you and one for me. I think I got one around here somewhere. I thought I did. Another one with a Cobra 4-pin socket. I thought. Maybe not. Who knows?
An old-fashioned one like this one?
I made a big 4-pin Amphenol to 4-pin Cobra socket so I could use all my 4-pin Cobra mics on the Amphenol plugged microphone radios that I have.
Roger.
Otherwise known as an adaptogranter.
Yeah, that's classic radio vocabulary right there.
Adapters make the world go round.
Yeah, adapters are important when you're trying to use new stuff with old junk.
Yeah, old junk.
So what radio are you running? Is that one of Goose's radios or something?
No, this is my Realistic TRC 451.
Are you using his amplifier then?
Yeah. I wanted to give it a good workout now that it's working.
It's a tube or a solid state?
It's one driving 4.
Again, the question remains.
Tube. Yeah, tubes. They're EL 519 tubes. Supposed to do somewhere close to a kilowatt peak.
Yeah, one driving 4 is going to be pretty stout. I'm not familiar with those tubes, but one driving 4 ought to be pretty robust.
Yeah, I can get a little bit more than about 800 out of it on peak, so it's doing what it's supposed to do. I think the thing's brand new, honestly. Everything looks nice and shiny and new in there. It is brand new.
That might have kind to find.
It was never hooked up.
Yeah, like I said, there's this weird chip in there that you have to remove it. Because it won't key up when that chip's in there. You take the chip out and things work.
Chip like a silicon chip or something else?
It's a little 8-pin IC. It's a microcontroller of some sort, and its job is to inhibit transmit. But I don't know what the conditions are that make this happen. But I was looking at some YouTube videos of people working on these things, and they pan the camera inside, and every one I've seen, the socket's empty. So evidently that must be a modification to take the chip out.
Well, what would be the point to put the chip in there to keep the amplifier from amplifying? That don't make no damn sense.
I don't know. Like I say, it's a microcontroller, so maybe somehow it can sense frequency, and if it doesn't know, 10 meters, it won't key up. I don't know.
Yeah, you got double on towards the end, but you mean like to keep it from working out of band kind of thing?
That's my guess. The only other thing I can think of is it's an overload protection, but if you're driving it lightly, that shouldn't matter. So I don't know.
That just sounds weird all the way around.
I'm surprised they don't have a schematic for that to tell you what that's for. Well, they do have a schematic, and I can see what the circuit's doing, but I don't know what's going on inside the chip. And the wording that comes with the schematic is all written in Italian, so I don't speak Italian.
Is that a newer Italian tube amp then? Something newer?
Nah, this has been around for a while. Some of these YouTube videos are 10 years old, so...
Well, newer, I mean 21st century?
Yeah, I don't think it's that old.
So it's not something from the 70s or 80s, it's something from post-2000.
Yeah, it's kind of like that little one-tuber you have, it's kind of like the same vein. Only this has got, 4 more tubes in it.
Roger. Yep, I got it. Yeah, they were like the last ones that seemed to be making tube amplifiers, but then using printed circuit boards for everything.
Yeah, this one's got printed circuit boards. The tubes are all mounted on a printed circuit board, all the parts, all nice and neat. A really nice job, Freight channel 138, breaker.
I take this 4-pin apart. I took the screw out of it, and I can't get it to move.
It just pulls apart, and the Red Baron's breaking in. But yeah, it just pulls apart. Take that screw out of the body, and then pull on the pins out of the body. Go ahead, Red Baron. I opened the door for you.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Greetings to all. Happy spring and a happy upcoming Easter. I just sort of pop my head in here and, wish everybody enjoy this weather. I don't know if it's rain where you're at. We have on and off rain over here, and we're looking forward to a nice, relaxing Easter weekend. Red Baron stepping back.
It is officially spring because all my cherry trees are in bloom.
They're fantastic. Yeah,
like the cherry blossom cherry trees. I had a couple of big cherry trees until the ants took them down.
I have one weeping cherry and two, I don't know, regular cherries. I don't know what they are, but I know they're cherries. Two of them and one weeping, and they're all blooming right now.
That's awesome, man. It's a good time of year. The dogwood should be popping out soon. And we just hung the hummingbird feeder out today and juiced it up. And I followed them, and they're in Virginia and Southern Maryland, so we expect them in about a week or so.
Yeah, that's about the right timing. First week or so of April, the hummingbirds start showing up. I'll have to remind the wife. She puts the hummingbird feeders out too. And I think I hear Springer hollering at me. Are you hollering at me there, Springer? Well, the weeping cherry is certainly ornamental. The other two, I ain't never seen any fruit on them, so I don't know. I don't know the specific variety of the other two. They're just out there in the woods.
Yeah, Cub, we had two same cherries, man. They were delicious. I used to cut the grass, take them off, and eat them right off the tree. But these black ants got into them, and they destroyed them.
Yeah, once the carpenter ants find their way into a tree, the tree is done.
Yeah, that's what happened. All right, listen, hey, thanks for the reply. You're putting my bear in here. I'm going to back out and not clog up the frequency. I just want to throw my hat in the ring and greet everybody.
Well, good to hear from you there, Red Baron. Always a pleasure. Glad you stopped by, checked in with us. Hope to hear from you again real soon. And don't want to wait too soon. I'm sure there's others that might want to wave their hand at you. Old Red Baron from your Spitfire radio station, countywide.
Hello, Red Baron. Good to hear you in there this evening. Old JR saying hello. And good evening to all you guys out there. I don't know who's all in here, just getting in here. Saying howdy, howdy. Old JR on board.
Good evening, JR. Red Baron. Good for having you this evening. For your blooming in here.
Well, thank you. That's good. I got to get over this. I see some static crashes in there, so I suspect we're going to get some rain tonight. So I just want to make sure I can get over top of that, right?
Copy that. Yeah, the bride told me that we might have some thunderstorms tonight. She was checking the internet. Possibility of a sea storm.
Yeah, the wife was saying something about that earlier today, and she's all excited about it, you know, because it makes the flowers pop up. She's been busy as a bee out there with all that. Yeah, all kinds of stuff popping up. She always does a great job with it. Makes it look real pretty out there, and yeah, so it's all good. And they keep saying we're still in the drought mode. I don't know how that happens, but that's beyond my mind thought. Anyway, Red Baron, we'll catch up with you later on. You take care, my friend.
I certainly don't understand how we could be in a drought after all that snow we had on the ground all winter. All the rain we've had since that softened the ground up enough for trees to uproot and wind. And more rain. I hope we don't have wind with it, because I'll have more trees uprooted and I'll be out of power again, and I'll be on Classic Radio Roundup with my walkie-talkie at 4 watts.
Come get my generator.
Well, you can always, run those cables out to your car battery again.
Car battery, actually, I get barely enough voltage to run a mobile radio. The wire runs too long. I wind up with just over 11 volts down here.
Well, that's what you did the last time you were out of power.
That was a double.
Last time you were out of power, I thought you ran wires up to your car battery.
I did, but I wind up with about 11 and a quarter volts, and I can run a mobile radio, and that's it. And it only puts out about 2.5 to 3 watts.
Well, then you're
enough to run my Yaesu at 5 watts. You key up and it shuts off.
We'll hear you. We got the ears. We'll hear you, Pete. It don't matter what you got going on.
Hello, JR. Good evening, Tom Chick.
I have to use my help radio on my AA batteries.
Help me, help me. Hey, Goose, how you doing? Sounding good up here tonight, Goose. What you got going on?
I'm doing alright. Nothing at all. Nothing.
I got a nice thing on it. Sounds like somebody else is in there too trying to get in. So let me sit on the side here and let them guys get into it.
Seems like there's a whole lot of somebodies.
I'm getting a lot of somebody's dead keying over you guys and throwing weird noises.
The radio break-in. Hello, Junkyard.
What's up, buddy?
None at all.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
Turn your power up, Junkyard. You're way down.
He's down over here.
Can you hear me now? It's over here by Red. Northeast Buffalo, Pennsylvania. Hello. Okay, JR. I'm a family now.
I hear you, but that's not the normal thing though. I usually get away for some reason, but I'm not sure why. But I hear you. How you been?
Well, that ain't helping anything.
Somebody's throwing dead keys, I think.
Oh, no. I think that's how the skip on.
Somebody in there with a carrier and no audio, or somebody with a carrier and little audio. I don't know what's all going in there.
Yeah, the testing channel was channel 6. If you have no audio and you need to find it, go to channel 60, you figure it out.
Yeah, we're channel 11. Either one. Yeah, I get a dummy load. Like he said.
Yeah, and you could do it in Spanish on channel 9.
Yeah, like he said.
Good evening, JR, before it gets busy.
Ah, Joker, good evening. Good to hear you in there. Yeah, I just jumped in. I don't know who's all in there, but it sounds like it's pretty busy.
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody else out there in the distance trying to check in before all that commotion started. Was that the Sandman or something I heard up there around Bethlehem? Was that it?
Yes, that was me. There's a carrier in there. I don't know if I'm getting over that mess, but hello, and just when I was traveling for a little while there. Appreciate you coming back.
Yeah, it's kind of busy off and on, and then there's some commotion going on too, but they gave you enough of a break there, Sandman. I heard you, so yeah, sorry for the commotion, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But I did hear you. Wanted to pull you out and get you checked in, old Sandman up there around the Lehigh Valley. Spitfire, 441.
Spitfire, all right, man. Yes, good deal. Thank you for acknowledging, and radio check you're working up here in Pennsylvania, and they got the radio roundup, antique radio roundup up here in the state of Pennsylvania, around Philadelphia. Anyway, I will get back to the side. You guys can carry on, and I appreciate you acknowledging.
All right there, Sandman. There's still a bunch of commotion going on down here. I guess there's a bunch of people that can't hear you. But I hear you. You made it into my radio receiver, and you're on the video gate. Good to hear from you there, Sandman. Take care and break in when you can. Spitfire, 441.
Okay, that's 441, Roger. Yup, that's all that matters. As long as you heard me. Bye-bye.
I hear him.
I was going to say, what the
Hello.
are you talking about?
Man, there's all kinds of things going on up this way.
When you got ears and an antenna at 100 feet, I hear everything in every direction. Stuff that everybody else don't hear. JR hears it, and then I hear it. Train usually hears it, but the rest of you guys hear this half, and the other half of the guys hear the other half, but that half don't hear the other half.
I heard him. What are you talking about?
I was going to say, I heard them too in the mobile. Yeah, but you don't hear some of the other people that are talking, so, you know, that's just the way it goes. Maybe not you specifically, but I was being more general.
It's all good.
I want to hear who I want to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard you in there. Joker's in there.
Now I know Goose can hear Stinger, and Stinger, Goose is cutting your lips off, so there's no excuse.
And Gumby is also in there. Good evening, Gumby.
Goose is cut my lips off, but I'm in Mobile, so yeah, he can go ahead and do that.
Another mile, and you'll be able to cut his lips off.
Yeah, I know just where I gotta go.
This is gonna be a fun stream to watch.
Yeah, I think so. It's like the skips in there or something. Oh, everybody bumping heads and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, commotion equals ratings.
The bird is a bird. The bird is a bird.
Who's travel up that way?
No bumping heads and ripping lips.
Commotion and chaos equals ratings. Chalk them up on my YouTube visits. Yeah, get me monetized.
So I was trying to get a break in there and say hello to JR and Joker, and I think Junkyard's in there. I'm just trying to say howdy, wave your hand.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. I hear you up here. I do in your mobile. Been a while there. I hope everything's going well for you. Oh, JR.
I'll bet Dole Renegade can hear you now.
I don't know. I can't hear him. How about a Renegade?
Yeah, how about it, 1, 2, 3? I hear you now.
Oh yeah, you're banging down what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I turned my heat exchanger off. I don't need it tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need that for a while.
Yeah, you don't need that heater till it drops down to 50 degrees again in a couple of days.
Oh, come on, 50 degrees ain't nothing.
No, not after the 3 weeks of 5 degrees that we had.
When the sun beats down on it, it raises the temperature about 10 degrees. So I'll be in here, it'll be like 65, 70 in here.
There you go, that's cool.
Hello, Renegade. I forgot to say hi.
Hi, JR.
There's Wayne.
Again? Woohoo! Wayne's blowing the dust out of his transmitter.
It's turning into Wayne's World.
Yeah, you sound really good up here.
Well, I got the power turned up all the way. So I'm probably doing about a 30 watt dead key, swinging to about 60 watts.
Okay, alright.
Works for me.
Yeah, that's right. Work it.
Yeah, this spot over here in front of Giant in Limerick is the spot.
I should get up there to Mandarack Farm, man. That's a really good spot.
Well, I'm headed over to the Meatball Bandits. I can't hang out too long, but I just want to get up here and wave a hand, shout howdy until I get over there. I don't think he's having issues with his rig, so we're going to find out.
I go to that Giant quite often.
Oh, okay. What was I going to say? Oh, what about Fightbuster? I usually can talk to Fightbuster from here. Is he on?
Haven't heard him yet. Give him a shout. You out here, Fightbuster? No, the only thing up north I've heard is the Sandman.
Yeah, how about that, Sandman? You out there?
Sandman, you still by the radio? Guess not. He got his check in and he bailed. It was pretty chaotic, but I did pull him out.
How about that Red Baron? Are you still in there?
I could hear Sandman earlier.
I think there's Rashney. Where's he at?
Limerick in the Giant parking lot. Where you been?
Oh, no, it's out of the squirt pen.
Oh, you didn't hear me say I'm in the Giant parking lot? Limerick?
No.
Is that Township Line in Ridge Pike? Is that shopping center?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about 3 miles from me.
No.
Yeah, if I was in the Mandarack Park, I'd be like knocking on your door. I'd be knocking your door down.
Yeah, that's about right.
No night train tonight, huh?
Too early for the train. Give him a half an hour. He'll be here.
Unless he's real busy.
Yeah, he's been wallpapering the countryside lately.
Oh, man, I haven't heard him in a while.
Hey, fan down baggers, I don't hear it no more.
He was on, when were we on, JR? When were we on 10 meters? Was that Sunday night? No, that was Monday night, wasn't it? Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, we had a good time. That was enjoyable.
Yeah. 507 made an appearance and hung out for a while. Yay!
I guess that means he hung his antenna back up.
Indeed he did.
Hey, Bagger, you turn that fan down so I don't hear it no more.
No, I turned my mic down so I don't pick it up as much.
Okay.
Oh, you got that running for him, did you?
Oh, yeah. No pain, no strain.
Minor detail, eh?
You were hearing it.
Bagger's good.
JR, you're listening to it.
Well, I could hear Dave without an antenna, you know. We're close enough.
Oh, so you can't tell a difference.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, I should be about 3 or 4 dB stronger than I normally am, but... Yeah, well, it is what it is. Oh, you're sounding good down at King of Prussia, Dave. Yeah, it's working, driver. Oh, yeah.
How'd you get back to King of Prussia so fast from the giant parking lot?
He lied.
I'm talking when I was in King of Prussia.
How the hell did you get from giant parking lot in Limerick to the King of Prussia that quick?
I got special skills.
Alright. I was just wondering.
I always said you were special, no doubt.
Yeah. If you can do 100 miles an hour on 422 and avoid the potholes, that is a skill.
Yeah, if you can afford the stinking fuel to do it.
Yeah, 422 done put one of my wheels out around last week. I'm not happy.
Another one? Or is this from the one you were talking about a couple weeks ago?
Same one I'm pissing and moaning about, but now it's on the rear, not on my drive wheel.
I would think if you go fast enough, you just glide right over all those potholes.
Oh, great. 422 is... That sucks.
It's a horrible piece of road.
Yeah, they'll get out there and patch it up like they normally do. That half-ass bullshit like.
Yeah, they've been out there with their little truck with their little spout on the front, and they pour some slurry mix into the holes and tamp it down a couple times and move on to the next one.
Yeah, what do they call that? Cold patch?
All right, guys, I'm pulling a plug. Have a good evening, everybody.
Oh, Badger. All right. Good night, Badger. Good to have you in here.
See you.
Catch you later, Badger. Have a good one.
Take care, Badger.
I heard Freebird out there, too. What's up? Howdy, Freebird.
Yeah, what's going on, bud? How you doing?
Yeah, we got a bunch of people keying up in there, but I hear you.
I might as well call out for my bull Badger.
That's a plus. Yeah, last time there was no transaction. I could hear you, you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, you're giving me 2, swinging to a 4. You sound good.
Yeah, you're way off in the distance, but I can definitely understand you.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Behind the hill, checking in.
Oh, there you go, behind the hill. 328.
That's right, baby.
Now, it's been a while since we heard the Behind the Hill checking in. What's going on? Welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup. Countywide Radio, Spitfire 441.
Thank you, sir. How's everybody doing this fine Easter weekend? This is Dandy.
Hello, 328. It has been a while since I heard you.
Hey, how you doing, JR? I mean, I talk to him every night.
Why ain't you special?
Yeah, you gotta come out here every night.
You should change your name to Ed then, and we can call you Special Ed.
Yeah, well, when you start paying my bills, I'll be out here every night. How's that?
I've got you work nice shit.
Good evening, 328.
I heard somebody down in the weeds.
Oh, is that me? I'm actually wondering what I even sound like tonight.
I cut it. I should forget that. I cut it. So it's all in the baggie for your bagger.
Say what?
That mic pin, that old-fashioned 4-pin. I put the piece in there and the 4 pins in the baggie for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I cut the wire. I'm going to resolder the new 4-pin on this microphone.
Would you have a microphone with an old Amphenol on it, and you want to use the mic for a new 4-pin Cobra? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, them Amphenols, man. For those of us who need them, they're like gold.
Yep. Alright. I guess I'm modulating.
There's another piece in the bag that holds, I guess, the coax from moving. So when you pull the microphone, it doesn't pull the cord out of the socket. It looks like you soldered the freaking wires into the 4-pin at the very bottom. That's old.
I could tell you what you could do with it. You could buy my Cobra 98, and then you'd have a microphone you could plug right into it. No more. No, now I'd have to resolder it.
Alligator pin them to bagger. It says.
If it's for sale, Goose wants it. He buys everything.
Money bags.
Not everything.
Yeah, but you don't have no tube radio, so that ain't anything worthwhile.
Oh, no.
He does have a tube amp, so I gotta give him a little credit.
Yeah, he's going to have this tube amp.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one. Those Italian tube amps seem to be pretty good.
Yeah, this was a little tricky to tune up, though, for some reason. When I first fired it up, it was putting out all kinds of spurs because the SWR took off. And finally got it dialed in, and now it seems to be pretty stable.
Do I sound quiet tonight?
You're not glaringly loud, but you're fine.
Okay. I just threw on probably the junkiest radio I have for tonight.
And which radio would be you're considered to be the junkiest?
Well, I think I'm skirting the fine line of classic tonight. I think this is from the early 80s. It's one of those little Cracos.
Ah, say hello on a Craco. There you go. That's kind of, they pretty much qualify. Yeah, good old butt ugly Cracos. We love them all.
It does have the digital meter, so I'm not exactly sure what year it's from.
Oh, it's got one of those bar graph meters. Shame.
Hey, Pete, I sent you a picture of the amp.
Cracos. They're the face that only a mother could love.
Well, I was going to either throw this Craco on or my Craco bass, so I figured I would try this one tonight.
Yeah, I'm on one of my crappy radios tonight. 3-knobber stock microphone.
Yeah, which radio is that?
3-knobber stock microphone. Midland 13879 Bravo.
Ah, okay. That's a cool little radio. I have a, I have the 879 Alpha, I guess you would call it, but it works really well.
I'll tell you what, I'd have been pleased as punch if I'd have had this thing in the 70s in my bedroom.
Yeah, well, that was a bottom of the line radio in the day. But yeah, I would have loved to have had one in 1974 when I was scraping pennies together to get a radio.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, somebody did a channel expansion on it too, so it doesn't get all 40. It's got some skips, but it will cover most of the 40 channels now, being a 23-channel radio.
Yeah, add 3 crystals and you're good to go.
Yep, that's what it is. 3-position crystal switch.
Yeah, so you'll miss every fourth channel. So So you won't have 29, you won't have 35, or 34, or 39.
Hey, Pete, look at your phone.
My phone's upstairs, so it's going to have to wait. And you're correct. There's no 29. There's no 34. And there's no 39. But then there's a note here on this channels chart. For channels 36, 7... Oh, no. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, it skips the channels you said.
What chip is in that?
No chip.
Oh, that's right. You run that old stuff. Okay, never mind.
23 channel crystal controlled with a 3-channel crystal switch on the side to get you up to 40, but skipping the channels that Sandbagger had mentioned.
29. Yeah. Good old crystal. I used to have a whole heap of them things at one time.
No, it is what it is. Somebody modified it back in the day. I'm not going to unmodify it.
Yeah, you won't have channel 25 either, I guess. And I wonder if they put 24 in the blank spot.
It says it has channel 24. Channel 1 on the dial, crystal position in 2. You have channel 24, 25, 23, and 27. Well, 23 being a repeat, obviously. Yeah, for 24, 25, 23, and 27. Position 2.
Oh, okay. Alright, so they chose to do it that way. And usually, when I do crystals, it's 26 to 30, 31 to 35, and then 36 to 40, skipping every 4th channel. And 25, well, that's a tough one to do without a bunch of monkeying around. 24, of course, usually goes in the blank spot.
Well, it's channel 1, position 2 is 24. Channel 2 is 25, 23, and then 27. Oh, there's 5 slots on here. So channel 3rd slot is 26, 27, 28, and 30. 4th slot is 31, 32, 33, and 35. 5 slot is 36, 37, 38, and 40. And then position 1 is the regular 23.
Yeah, that's pretty cool for a bottom of the line radio to just go through all that trouble.
Well, it's a decent working radio. I mean, it's not a flagship, but it works well enough. The receiver's good enough. Well, it's got decent audio for a stock mic.
It's got a hell of a lot better audio than the A model does, I'll tell you. I got to run the D104 cranked all the way up to get good audio out of it.
It's got reasonable fidelity on the receive. I mean, like I said, in the 70s, I'd be really happy to have this radio.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I knew somebody that had one back in the 70s. And I guess he had one like mine, because he had a stock mic on and his audio was really weak. We used to call him Lomage, that was his nickname.
Well, better Lomage than no-mage. And it is the Midland microphone, so I figure I'll leave it alone, leave it the way it is. Plus it's got, a different pin out from the 4 pins, so none of my mics work on it.
No, I think Midland reverses the shield in the audio from Cobra, something like that.
So it's easier just to keep it like this, and it works well enough. If it had crappy audio, I'd probably put an external mic on it, but it's not that crappy, so I don't.
Yeah, it works pretty well.
Yeah, old JR's not going over there holding his nose and going, ew!
No, not at all.
Well, if you did that, you might get cantankerous.
Oh, I could get cantankerous anyway. That's irrelevant. Uh-oh. We We can't have dead carriers. Can't have that. They ain't got no audio. You got to go down a few channels.
Ain't got no audio.
Working on it. Work in progress.
Maybe it's the train doing a warm-up test.
Nah, it's not trained.
He likes to do that, you know.
Unless he's on his dummy load. I don't think you would hear him on his dummy load.
Didn't he do that on Monday night? Tuned up his radio right on top of us?
He was rude. I don't know what he was thinking.
That was downright rude.
Oh no! Where was Mrs. Train when all this was going on?
Well, he was in Studio B and she was in Studio A. So the reins were loosened and he got wild.
Oh, he's out of supervision range. Okay, that makes all the sense in the world.
He was not under direct supervision.
That's how you get a demerit.
I just popped back in here real quick. It's Red Baron over here. Is Night Cream with you on the radio? I'm just cruising around up on sideband.
He hasn't checked in yet tonight. We figure if we talk about him enough, like Beetlejuice, 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 you know, maybe he'll come in.
Copy that, Spitfire. All right, man. Red Baron back out.
But he was downright rude to us on Monday.
Yeah. I think you keyed up when I said that was the cantankerous train.
he was being fun Monday night.
Oh yeah, we were all having a good time. That was a good night. I enjoyed that.
On him?
It was a good night. I did have fun.
Was that on him?
Yeah, 29 megahertz amplitude modulated radio.
Roger.
Any good April Fool's jokes anybody heard today? Yeah, stepping back for a reply.
Nothing new. Of course, I pulled some April Fool's jokes on my trainees at work. That was fun. I was setting alarms off all over in the plant. Young kid keeps telling me, I'm ready to go on my own. I can do this on my own. I'm like, you really think so? Oh yeah, I'm ready. You need to put me on shift. I'm ready to go on my own. I'm like, well, let's test that theory.
Have you set him up yet?
I set off multiple alarms on him today. He started to look like a deer in the headlights. Like, yeah, I knew you weren't ready.
Yeah, and on April Fool's, no less. That's even better.
I was planning on setting off a single alarm on him that he hadn't heard. But when he told me that, I'm like, oh, you're getting a multiple alarm, because it does go that way sometimes. You get multiple alarms, you got to deal with it in the priority order. He looked like a deer in the headlights.
Tell him to shut it off and turn it back on again.
That ain't gonna work. You gotta maintain 40-degree chill water temperature and 70 psi steam header pressure. If you ain't doing that, you ain't doing your job.
You're too hard on them guys.
Yeah, poor kid.
The only way he's gonna learn is throw him out there and have him deal with it. You know, well, like if you ain't exposed to it in a controlled conditions, you ain't never gonna handle it when the real thing happens.
Yeah, feed him to the fishes.
That's right. Feed them to the fishes. You got it there, green dog.
Sink or swim.
Get too rough. As long as he got a good pair of sneakers on, he can evacuate the building.
No, evacuation, you only do that you don't even do that when it's burning. No, there's no evacuation. You gotta maintain chilled water and steam header pressure. You need to know how to use a firefighting apparatus.
Did you train them on that yet?
Oh, no, but it's coming.
Yeah, you got to do the safety thing. That's a must-do.
Yeah, he knows how to run the plant first. Then he can learn how to save it from burning down. And if it blows up, there was nothing you could do about it anyway.
Has to go down with the ship.
That's right. If you're on shift, you're the man responsible. Even though all the rest of us are there, you're the one responsible. We may or may not help you out, but if you're on shift, you're still responsible.
Breaker, gentlemen.
Come on, Breaker!
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we're doing over there. That's TV land from the B-ball vantage point.
It's working, driver.
Working, driver.
If you're not in my red, you're about 7 pounds over here.
Alright.
Oh, you're 10 over here.
There's about 3 over here.
About 3? Okay. Probably doing about 5 watts. That's good. I'm seeing no reflex, so actually, I think I can get to 7. So, I don't know, we're seeing 100% efficiency on this antenna.
Yeah, well, you're 5 to 8 dB over 9, looking at a card close. Corner up here, get it?
Appreciate the flowers.
Is that his same antenna he always had, or is he trying something new?
No, this is the Vector 4000.
Oh, so you're at home.
I'm at the B-ball vantage point.
Man, I don't know, man.
So what was his issue? What was broken?
It's a conglomeration of stuff.
Well, then you must be some kind of wizard then if you fixed a conglomeration of problems in that short of time.
No, I just showed up. He already went over this stuff. He just wants a second eye to see what's going on. You know, make sure that he's doing the right thing, I guess. We didn't get to the power supply yet.
Well, it ain't the right thing if he's got you in charge. Yeah, if the ship is sinking, I'm not calling you.
I don't volunteer either.
I'm just busting your shoes.
That's fine, man. No problem. I get it. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's all good fun. I'm glad you took it that way.
It was funny, though.
I'm good.
It was funny, though.
What's the matter?
Hey, who?
Well, that was the point. It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out here to have fun. It's cool.
You can bust my shoes if it fits. I take shoe busting fine. And I've been busted by, my shoes been busted by bigger and better people.
Yeah.
Just don't play them word games, because then I won't know what you're saying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got documents in my trunk. I'm gonna throw firecrackers in them.
Every time that comes up, I picture that video with the Barbie dolls and the trunk blowing up with the firecrackers and documents flying out. Oh man, that was so funny.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That was so funny.
All the documents that he has to say that he doesn't have to pay the IRS.
Yeah, right next to his Black's Law Dictionary.
Yeah, he was above the law.
Yeah, he knew it because he read it in Black's Law Dictionary. He was a sovereign citizen.
I've watched YouTube videos on that sovereign citizen nonsense. They lose every time, but they try.
I mean, to hear them talk,
some of their points make sense. But, you know, you get drug into court and you try to make those points and the judge just tells you to go sit down.
The only way to fix all that is to declare yourself a non-corporation, and you got to change your birth certificate and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then they go with the, I'm not driving, I'm traveling, and I'm not a commercial traveler. For their, you know, the reason they don't have a registration. Like, that's okay if you're riding a bicycle or a horse. It don't work out when you're driving a car. It is fun to watch some of them people, though.
Well, you know, when you have people who are convinced, you know, that what they believe is true, then they will go to no lengths to make their point, even if they are nutty. There's no more crazy than somebody who's a nut.
You know, I would really like to ask the Founding Fathers, though, some questions surrounding some of that stuff. Because I would believe that there's some validity to at least their thinking surrounding some of that, as far as what you know, with traveling and all that. Because it's enshrined in the Constitution about, you know, free to travel and this and that and the other thing. And I wonder how they would have looked at, you know, motor vehicles versus, you know, if you're on a horse or you're walking or whatever, and like, you know, the whole police stops and all this stuff. I'm just wondering, you know, how they would interpret all that in their time, you know, to now. Is that what they intended, or has it been, you know, a little bit twisted and bastardized and governmentized, or for lack of a better description? You know what I mean? As far as, you know, commercial, you know, moving of goods versus an individual, air quotes, traveling.
Well, yeah, that's why we have courts, because things are open to interpretation. But, you know, somebody might view a passage of the Constitution in 1865 and come up with a ruling, and then 100 years later they look at it again and come up with a different ruling, because, you know, it's different. It's a whole different society.
Yeah, I'm taking society out of it, because human nature never changes, and it shouldn't change the meaning throughout the times. And I think the Founding Fathers had a certain intention, regardless of what times we're talking about. And I think some of it's been perverted and twisted and trampled upon. Just like, you know, I don't need a permit to exercise my First Amendment right, but I certainly need a permit to exercise my Second Amendment right, and it's invalid when I leave my state.
Unless the state you go to has reciprocal agreements.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm pretty certain the Founding Fathers intended the Second Amendment to be throughout the entire United States, regardless of state lines. You know, and I shouldn't need a permit to exercise that right. You know, they put in there shall not be infringed for a reason, but, you know, they piecemeal this crap all the time.
Yeah, but see, you run up against federal laws versus state and states' rights, and, you know, the whole point of certain things being federal and everything else, you know, reverting back to the states. So, you know, we kind of set ourselves up for that.
Well, yes, that's true to a degree, but the first 10 amendments are unalienable rights. Oh, I'm getting cantankerous now. Inalienable rights, the first 10. In other words, they're federal and cannot be trumped by state, but yet states trump all over them.
Yeah, go figure, right? It all depends on who's in office and what we're talking about. You know, the federal government can trump all over states' rights, And then other times it's the other way around.
Yeah, those first 10 amendments, though, are sacrosanct. You know, the ones after that, we could debate them all over the place, and I'm fine with that. But that first 10 are not permission from the government. They are meant to be, government, keep your hands off these.
Well, here we go. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, as the case may be, neither one of us are in a position to do anything about it.
No, but that's the way I see it. And I have read the Federalist Papers probably 6 or 7 times at this point. So I'm pretty well versed in the discussions, you know, revolving around the first 10 amendments. And their thinking at the time and what they meant by it. And a lot of it's been perverted. I shouldn't need a permit to exercise any single right.
Oh, I would agree. I would think that, you know, the right to carry a gun is constitutionally guaranteed, so that should apply everywhere. But, you know, and well, you can say that, you know, income tax is unfair, should not be applied, but, well, somehow it got through.
Well, income tax is a later amendment, and that's up for debate. I'm talking about the first 10. And I have the God-given right. All those first 10 amendments are God-given rights. They're not government approved. They're not government sanctioned. They're God-given rights. And they spell it out that way. That means government, this means your hands off of these rights. These aren't a permission slip from the government. These are, the government, keep your freaking hands off these first 10. These are God-given rights.
Well, there you go. Tell that to the Congress and the courts and, you know, whoever else.
Yeah, and it doesn't say, the Second Amendment doesn't say the right to bear a gun. It says the right to bear arms, which means any kind of arms. Samurai sword, knife, bazooka, thermonuclear device, cannon, club.
Yeah, an A-10 Warthog.
Yeah, bear arms. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being able to bear an A-10 Warthog. Could you fly it though? Probably. Oh yeah. See, that's a gun that flies versus an aircraft with a gun.
Oh yeah, when that Gatling gun goes, it actually makes the plane jerk. That's how much power that gun has.
Yeah, it's like 2,000 rounds a minute of 20 millimeter, you know, rounds. that is a flying gun.
It's like a big zipper.
Rumble strip at 200 mile an hour.
Yeah. One of the ugliest planes I've ever seen, but one of the coolest.
Oh, it's very effective. And it has a really low stall speed. You can fly real low. Yeah, those things are way effective. They're cool.
Yeah, I could shoot right through a tank, you know.
Yeah, you might have armor. We got an A-10 Warthog. We're not worried.
Yeah, they're badass. They fly them all over the Chesapeake. See what they're doing in Ukraine to keep the...
And you know when they're flying them, too, because they have a very unique sound.
When I lived in Lansdale, they used to fly low over from Willow Grove all the time. I used to see them all the time when I lived in Lansdale. They're badass.
I guess I'm not getting out.
Oh, there he is. Hello, Bite Buster. We were looking for you earlier.
Yeah, I just realized how late it was.
Well, better late than never. Go ahead, say your piece while I got the door open for you.
I said, you know what they're doing in Ukraine to stop the drones?
What's that, flying warthogs at them?
No, they're putting netting all over the place. They can't get near them.
What, they're putting up netting? Is that what you said?
Yeah, right down the street, right on top of like telephone poles, so they can drive all their tanks down. Those things hit the net, and they just get caught up in the net, and that's it.
Oh, that's wild. You know, I got a measure, And somebody's going to come up with a countermeasure.
Except they're not going to put netting up at 3,000 feet or something.
No, but it's good enough to keep them off the tanks and stuff.
I don't think they need to get that close. What is a telephone pole? 30, 40 feet? The drone only needs to fly at 120 feet and it can still take out a tank.
Yeah, but it doesn't explode. It just gets hung up.
I'm pretty sure, ammunition fired from a drone is going to go through a net.
No, they're bombs. They go off on contact.
Yeah, what are they putting up? Wire mesh nets?
I have no idea, but they showed these drones up in these nets.
That's pretty wild. Well, maybe the drone shouldn't fly so damn low.
Well, they shouldn't make them so cheap.
Well, stop buying them from China. They won't be.
So next thing you know, they'll have big blades on them that cut through the nets.
Oh, I guess these are Russian drones, though, huh?
Exactly.
Interesting. I'm going to have to look for that.
Yeah, if I find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, okay, do that.
Yeah, I often wondered how those drones that the Iranians are using and the Russians or whoever, they're all real cheap, easy to make. They don't cost a lot of money, and they're making a big deal about us shooting a bunch of drones down with multi-million-dollar missiles and stuff. But I often wonder if those things are pre-programmed or whether they're piloted. And I would think that there should be some kind of a way to jam them. Whatever they're using as a control frequency, even if it's spread spectrum, I would think that if you put a broad enough cone of signal out there, you'd be able to jam the stinking things.
I would think so. That's the first thing I thought with drones. They're operated by, some kind of RF remote control, whatever that frequency may be, and like you said, it's even spread spectrum. If you put enough RF hash out there, heck, just some loose power lines, you can ruin a lot of megahertz. I can't imagine they can't jam that stuff.
Just key up the big box. Yeah, right? Key up the big box.
I mean, 5-7 gets over-the-horizon radar out of Iran to change frequency.
Is there any way we can utilize these drones to drop the gas pipe? Because we're getting robbed again just because they can.
And there's no reason for that neither. That's just plain corporate greed right there.
Yep, and back when Trump's first run, he was pumping it out of the States here. It was like $2.25 a gallon. He's in now again. Why are we paying? Why is the price going to go up to like $7 a gallon now?
And we're still pumping it here in the States, so it makes no sense. We're not buying Iranian oil, we haven't been, so there's no reason for it.
Well, it's one of those things where the price of oil is based on global market supply. So if any one of the major contributors to the global market supply falls, then the supply is less. And when the supply drops and the demand doesn't change, then the price goes up. It doesn't matter how much oil we make here. It's all based on the global numbers.
Well, the Iranians weren't producing all that much in the global percentage to begin with.
It's going, we all just get fucked in the ass as usual, because we're already freaking trying to make a living to begin with anyway. And they already got all the millions and gazillions of dollars, and they just can. That's why it happens. They just can.
That's one demerit for Mrs. Train, marked up. You have been issued one demerit for Mrs. Nitrain.
Yeah, that's right. None of that.
Unfortunately, we don't have a dump button on CB radio.
Yeah, and I don't edit my video gates, so I don't know what my viewers will feel about that, but oh well. But the sentiment is valid. that have something to do with some bad language there?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We try to keep it G-rated here on the Classic Radio Roundup 27115 on your AM dial. And if you violate the G rating, you will get one demerit from Mrs. Night Train.
Roger that. I can respect that. I will take it down a notch.
Yeah, just rearrange your verbiage and you'll be fine.
Yes, Mrs. Train is our official Secretary of Decency.
Yeah, and it's very easy to get heated over politics and governmental things that we don't really have a whole lot of control over, but we still got to watch our P's and Q's here on this family channel.
That's right. I've learned to vent my cantankerous frustrations in a G-rated manner. And I will get vented and wound up when it comes to our Constitution and the first 10 amendments, as verbalized in the previous segment of this program.
I raised a daughter, so I know how to make up words to cover other words.
Yeah, you can actually speak in a way of expressing yourself without the gutter language. So I hear you. Yeah, no, I'll fix it up. My bad.
Hey, I was a sailor, so that's like my native tongue, and I've had to learn to readjust.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I got 2 Marine Corps brothers, and the last one I was in back years ago, every other word was the F-bomb. It's just insanity. But yeah, there's other ways to express an opinion when you're kind of mad about stuff. And it's actually kind of pointless even arguing about that. Like the gas thing. Yeah, it's just banning, and I know there's nothing I can do about it. We're just getting robbed, you know.
It happens. People slip, but we're duty bound to call you out on it when you do, and issue the demerit on behalf of Mrs. Night Train.
Oh, good. Sorry, Mrs. Night Train.
Yeah, who knows? She could be listening. You never know. You never know when the censors could be around.
Yeah, which is past time for the Night Train to make his appearance. But maybe he won't now because of the bomb drop.
Oh no!
You know,
Never said a bad word or the government or whatever. Yeah, that I don't care so much about, but if it offends you guys, then yeah, that stands.
Well, I'm not personally offended, but we've established these kind of criteria, and that's how Classic Radio Roundup has grown and sustained itself for over 15 years now. And I hear you're jumping up and down there, Bike Buster. Go ahead.
I said when I worked at the hospital, all the nurses cursed. They never said a single bad word, but they cursed. So they made up all these kind of adjectives.
Yeah, there's ways of doing it without actually doing it and still get your meaning across. You just got to be a little creative.
There it is.
Kind of like these gas prices are right out of rats behind.
There you go.
Yeah, and they go up, 50 cents or whatever overnight. But when they go down, it'll be a penny a week for the rest of the year.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I'll keep it up there. The more they jack it up, the less they got to bring it back down.
The only good thing about high fuel prices is now the drillers got incentive to go ahead and drill because they can recoup their money.
Yeah, but they know this is short-lived. It's not like a long-term shortage. They know as soon as this Iranian nonsense is over with, and the supply starts flowing again, and all the prices will come down.
Yeah, but they're padding their coffers now, and they can make investments off of that.
Yeah, but it takes years to set up and explore and drill and all that.
I'm sure
sure you're not, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but Trump's actually on the news now on literally every channel, and yeah, he's talking about this Iranian war and whatever else.
Yeah, I'll get the Reader's Digest version tomorrow.
Roger that. I didn't think it was worth my time either. I just came back here when I seen that come on. Like, God, this is perfect time. I just got done eating. Here to talk on Classic Radio. Sounds like a plan to me.
As far as I'm concerned, even the presidency doesn't supersede Classic Radio Roundup.
That's right.
Absolutely, I agree.
Ten-4.
Yeah, it's a big Roger that, over and out.
10-4. 10-4. Show you right.
Yike.
Flying squirrel. I heard that breaker.
There's Rooster.
Squirrel. Yes. Connie, what? Radio.
My cats have returned.
Speaking of critters, Ty had his annual. Just last week, he weighs 97 pounds.
That's a big boy. Lennon will have to lift him into the car.
Oh, I cannot lift him into the car. He's got to jump in himself.
What do you got, a mountain lion for a pet?
It's a Siberian Husky, but he's mixed with Great Pyrenees, so he's big.
Now I got you. Oh, I got the picture right there.
This way he jumps on you and kind of knock you over, too.
He's pretty big. I didn't know he was that heavy, though. I was like, oh my God. That's like 12 to 15 pounds more than I was expecting.
That's heavy enough.
12 to 15 more than I was expecting.
Back near got yourself a whoop.
He's such a gentle, nice guy, though. He really is. He's big, but he's very nice. He's very gentle. You know, he's just friendly. But he's big.
Yeah, my neighbor, when I first met him, he had a same thing, Alaskan Malamute. I think that was actually all purebred. Yeah, he was a big boy. He definitely, wouldn't cross him. He was actually part of like the Husky rescues that I lived nearby. He rescued him, and they actually got along. We actually had to put him down at some point. Try something after we got to know him and all.
Yeah, Malamutes are always typically bigger than Huskies. Malamutes are big and powerful. Huskies are more quick in stamina. You know, long stamina. But he's mixed with Great Pyrenees, so that's where his size comes from.
How many years old is he?
He'll be 4 next month.
Oh wow, he's only 4 years old and he weighs all that? Oh my goodness. That's a big boy. That's a cool dog to have though. Yeah, I love that kind of dog.
Yeah, he's really a pretty good dog. He's not really destructive or anything. I've had Huskies for a long time, and you know, they can be quite destructive and escape artists and all that. He's none of that. He's very, very chill.
Okay. I'm assuming that you're pretty good at working with them. If you said you had a couple Huskies, so I imagine you've got some sort of idea what you're doing there. They're not the easiest creature to tame, but
you never tame a Husky. You get them to cooperate with you. You never train or tame one. You just work to an understanding. But yeah, I've had multitude of Huskies over the last almost 30 years. But yeah, You don't train them.
Yeah, I didn't really think so either. I mean, like I said, I live over by the rescue here. This new ownership now, they don't have any Huskies over there, but back before, like, Corona and all that, back before 2020, yeah, they had a bunch of them over there, the other people that were running. Yeah, I very much enjoyed taking them out. We'd take them for walks around a loop in the back of the field, and they have like a little chalkboard that says, don't mix this one with that one. This one does this one does that. This one pulls. This one can be mean, vicious. And, yeah, those are the ones, of course, that I would take out. I get halfway around the loop, which is probably a half mile, maybe, the walk itself to go around the loop. And, yeah, we'd have a pretty good understanding with each other. Yeah, there's no pulling and no acting out or anything like that. Took a couple moments, but...
Ah, cool. Glad to hear it. Yeah, he's a rescue, and we volunteer with a Husky rescue group and all that. So, but yeah, they all have sort of like different personalities like everybody else, but there's some basic traits that are pretty common through the most of them.
Yeah, they try to get out of anywhere that they're supposed to be. They do not like to be secluded. You literally they have to get out every day, and you gotta wear them out. Same thing with like German Shepherds, but Huskies is even worse with all that. You gotta wear them out, and they don't like be locked up. So if you work 8 hours a day, and you're gonna lock the dog in a kennel, then don't get a Husky. Just don't do it. But that's all with a lot of people. They get them because they're beautiful dogs. They're really, and people just don't know what they're getting into. Because, I mean, it's very close to an actual wolf. That's as close as you get besides for Alaska Malamute.
Yeah, you gotta, like, stimulation works, too. You gotta stimulate their mind, give them puzzles or things to do. You know, if you can't necessarily run them or walk them far, if you stimulate their brain and make them think, play games with them and stuff, that's almost as good as running with them. And, yeah, you got to interact with them. But they're really great companions if you know how to deal with them.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. I did that for a couple of years when I first moved in over here. There's all kinds of chaos that went on with the new ownership coming in and the whole COVID thing. So, yeah, they got the house fixed up, most of the barn. I think it's pretty much almost ready. It's just actually nobody full-time during outfit that the people that have it now after the big battle. They're actually out of New Jersey, Husky House in New Jersey, but they're kind of like expanding. So nothing going on yet. I'm looking forward to it for years now. So hopefully something will come of it because definitely like to get back over there and spend some time with them.
You know, I was wondering if that's who you were talking about. I kind of got the feeling that you were, and that Maupaw Rescue up there, the place you're talking about, I've been in there from the early stages. I helped build that kennel that's there, and I was part of the people that helped transition it to the Husky House, who has it now. But I'm gonna reserve speaking about Husky House currently, because they're not doing what their mission was supposed to be for that place, and not what we expected when they've got selected to take over from Maupaw at that location. And there's no dogs there currently. There hasn't been any dogs there since they've taken over. And the wife and I had helped refurbish over there and clean up over there to get them over there with dogs, and they still don't have dogs. And I'm pretty much going to just refrain from saying anything else about Husky House. But yeah, that's where my current guide came from. He came from Husky House. So that's cool. So I wonder if you and I have bumped into each other over there at all, because I've been dealing with that place, I don't know, since, I don't know, early 2000 sometime. I don't remember exactly. But I helped build that kennel that's over there.
Well, there's no way we haven't bumped into each other. We just didn't know it. But yeah, I agree with you on that, like with the whole Husky House thing. I mean, I've talked to the owner, and you know who she is. And this has been going on for freaking years now. And there still is nothing. Like, they got the house fixed up. The kennel area, that was all cleaned up and whatnot. But that was, the kennel area is the same as what it was with Mothball, just cleaned up. They still didn't replace the broken heater that's in there, which I volunteered, not volunteered, but I tried to get in to help her with that. I added refrigerant to it to try to get it going, and yeah, the thing leaks, it has to be replaced, so, I mean, they can't technically, because they're going to have some AC or something in there, even to bring the dogs in, but, yeah, there's been no communication for a while now, but, yeah, I guarantee we've ran into each other.
Yeah, there needs to be a caretaker in that house, and then they need to start moving dogs in there, because it was pretty much ready to go about a year ago, I thought, you know, with minor things, but there needed a caretaker, and she kept, we're talking about the same lady, I know we are, and she swore, oh, we'll get a caretaker, and this person, and that person, and blah, 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 but nothing ever happened, so, my wife is much more involved in the, you know, what would you call it, the interactions of the governance of it, whatever, than I am. I just do what she tells me and show up, you know. And I'm willing to help. I want it to succeed. But, so there's no way you and I haven't run into each other at some point then. Oh my God, you know the detail that I know, and that's amazing. I can't believe, well, we just didn't know it, so in the future, well, maybe I'll listen more for your voice and we'll be able to pick you out. That's too funny.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like they've had, I think, 2 open houses over there since they took it over, which was an absolute battle with the previous people that took over for Mothball, because Pat originally started it. And then my neighbor that, as I was speaking of, that had the Alaskan Mountain Mutant dog, he was like the township supervisor. He was involved. There was a bunch of people involved in all that. There's a lot of people that had hands into it. And Tony was running it. A woman named Tony. I assume you know who I'm talking about. Her and her husband, and her son was there. That's where, I mean, I started volunteering there back when Pat was there. I ran into Pat a couple times, but I'm basically the guy, the field that's back behind there, the real big field that belongs to the rescue. I'm the guy that mows the trails and all that, like the whole roundabout there that you walk them. And so I started doing that back when Pat was actually there. He never asked me, so I just did it because I just knew. It was like, these people probably need some sort of help, so I just took it upon myself to do it. And then any trees that come down or branches, I'd go over and clean them up. I've literally been doing all that stuff for years. But, I basically walking the dogs and all that. That's when Tony and her husband were running it. And then politics became involved around Corona, right before Corona came around. And that's been something. I just want to, besides for all the politic nonsense, I just want to see the dogs being taken care of again. And be part of that. That's the main thing. With that being said, I know we ran into each other, maybe just on a couple of the open houses there.
Yeah, I don't want to take away too much from Classic Radio Roundup. Make a couple more comments on this, and then we'll let it roll. But we absolutely must have ran into each other, because you and I had been there from the beginning when Pat and Kathy moved in there. my wife and I, we still keep in touch with Kathy, and we held Pat's little Viking funeral and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Pat and I and this other guy, Rick, I think his name was Rick, we kind of built the kennel. My son put the roof on the kennel, and his roofing crew. So I got a lot of history there. I've mowed the lawn, you've mowed the lawn, pick up sticks and whatnot. I've taken trees down there and helped build fences, blah, 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 blah. You know, without getting too carried away. But yeah, I you know, after Pat passed, that's when what we call the F-tards ran it for a little while, and that's really kind of messed things up, and we had to get it, we had a fight to get it out of their hands and get it to somebody else, and you know, there were several rescues in contention, and you know, Husky House seemed to be the most viable one, and they really kind of are, but Lorraine, I don't know what her deal is. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's gone on too long, and it's sort of a limbo thing. They fixed it all up, they cleaned it all up, but yet it's still in a limbo, and I'm kind of annoyed by that. So anyway, not to, you know, bore everybody else on here, but yeah, you and I'll have to meet up and say, oh yeah, I've seen you, because I've been to open houses and whatnot and that. Yeah. So anyway, we'll let it go from there. So thank you for your assistance while it was Paul, and your current dedication to the mission. They always seem to forget about the mission. It's about saving the damn dogs, and these politics get involved. They're like, oh, stop! We're here to save the dogs. Enough said. Good deal. Countywide.
Yes, it's classic critter roundup.
Yeah, it's a big 10-4 and all that. But yeah, open up the old airways here and yeah. What's everybody else up to?
Is this the cat portion of this of the night?
Well, we went from dogs. We might as well carry on with cats now.
Oh no, well my cats are here, which has been becoming increasingly rare since the new dog likes to come up here and chase them.
Yeah, my cats are still a little too rambunctious to be in here.
Oh, well, we want to go into cats. Oh, somebody could be a lucky guy right now, because I got lots of kitties that are adoptable and friendly and whatnot. Yeah, you can come select from about 20 of them. Yeah, young ones and young babies coming along. Yeah, so anybody's interested and you want a little buddy chat and whatnot, yeah, I can hook you up.
No, they all go to Chinese.
I got a cat dog.
I got my two right now, and they're a great pair, and I'm afraid to bring any other ones in here to mess up their dynamics they've got.
Yeah, that's a problem I have. I have one cat inside the house. The rest of them are what you could call feral, but I mean, a lot of them, I've tried to bring them in the house, but my cat inside here, she is not happening. If I try to force it, then she'll probably start peeing all over the place and all that kind of good stuff that you don't want. So, yep, it's just her in here. This is her domain. But there's at least 4 of them out there that I could absolutely bring in here, no problem. If it wasn't for that.
Yeah, once you have, you know, 1 or 2 that are set in their ways, it's tough to bring in other ones. And yeah, cat dogs. Mine aren't at cat dog phase yet, but I've had some kittens or cats that acted like puppies, and they were always great.
My mom and cat.
I'm going 10-7.
Hope does.
All right, you have a good night. Yeah, my one, the girl kitten, she likes to play fetch, so that's fun.
Catch you later, Goose. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. I gotta run. I'll be back. Everybody's coming on the radio when I get back, that is.
Have a good one.
Go. Raji.
Catch you later, Goose.
Catch you later on there, Joker, Sandbagger, Pete, and whoever else is sandbagging.
Yeah, that would be Sandbagger. So, Goose, do you want me to slow this fan down?
Sure.
Alright, I'm going to cut it speed in half, so it's not so cantankerous.
As long as it ain't gonna hurt her any, I don't care.
Alright.
Put a switch in so you can low and high. There you go.
I got these really nice little, they're like 1x2 little attenuators. They show the voltage in and the voltage out, and you can adjust it. That's what I have running my fans.
Yeah, I'm a little less sophisticated than that. I'm just going to stick a resistor in there.
That's not a bad idea, though, Joker.
I get them from Amazon. They're pretty cheap, and certain things that I want different voltages on, I'll throw that in line. And like I said, you can see the voltage in and voltage out.
Thank you, Bagger. Where did he go?
Who?
Bagger.
Yeah, I'm here.
I said thank you.
You're quite welcome.
I do get my knees in the breeze. I shall return.
Catch you later, Goosey.
Catch you later.
Loosey-goosey, righty-tighty.
Goose is on the loose.
Oh, man.
Yeah, get out of here, Goose.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting out of here.
Gotta get him a mobile.
Actually, I'm gonna put this fork pin in the car so I don't forget it when I see you.
Yeah, I may not be right. Well, yeah, whatever. I gotta look at that galaxy.
Yeah, like I said, when he unstarted something, it just messed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. There ain't nothing worse than trying to undo somebody else's mistakes.
Check out here in semi-southern.
But if it does need a filter, there's one there.
Yeah, we'll take care of that if that's the case.
Raji, Raji.
Was that just Skipland coming in there?
Almost sounded like the Menace out in Ohio or Idaho.
I heard California.
Said California is the place you ought to be.
No, it's not.
No, I heard somebody saying sunny California. I heard it.
California's a great place to visit for a short period of time.
I've got no interest.
I'm with you.
I live next door to California, but never been there.
Well, the stuff that I'm into, a lot of it originated in California, so it was cool to go out a couple times and see that stuff, but to be out there for an extended period, nope.
Just go up one more state.
Nah. California leans too far to the left. I like to stand straight up.
Oh, you're an in-betweener.
I'll second that motion.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Yeah.
Been a tiring day.
It's been a tiring year.
Going to get better. Going to get better.
Well, it's the whole time of my life here at, dealing with my elderly mother in the hospital, and when she comes out, she has to go to a nursing home, and I don't know what else after that. Yep, so that puts a strain on your brain.
He's getting ready to become cantankerous.
Now the fun starts.
Yeah, he's got to go pour some more cantankerous juice.
Oh, good luck.
That's what I need.
Yep.
At this point in the day, it'd be sleep juice.
That's Craco?
What was that?
Are you still on that Craco?
Yep, still on the Craco.
Doesn't sound bad, actually.
Yeah, this is the radio. I had it duct taped to a power supply, and before I had my little VNA, I would use this one for testing my SWR on the antennas, in case I really screwed up. If it blew it, I didn't care.
A test radio, okay.
Every good shack gotta have one.
You're not showing no love for it.
I don't even know where I got it. I have this one, and then that General Electric that I have. They were in a bin in my basement that I don't even remember getting them.
Ghost radios.
Is that the only Craco you have?
I had that Craco base station, so it was either going to be this Craco or the base station tonight.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, the base station. Is that the 23 channel, the one with the big round dial on it?
Yep, looks like a grill to a Pontiac in a way, or I guess you could say a Pontiac.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes, I do. I kind of almost consider it like an old Buick.
I always thought it was Valiant.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Valiant, or with the headlight covers, the slitted chrome.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a 73 or 72 Dodge Monaco, something like that.
It definitely has an old car look to it. I'll throw that on for next week.
Better than a Bluebird school bus.
Yeah. There you go. Well, we'll get to see that on the video gate there, Joker. So yeah.
Yep, you'll see the Craco in action.
Is that the one with the really tight S-meter?
The base station you're talking? I think so.
Like everybody gives you like a 3 or something.
Yeah, that's a general issue with a lot of my radios. They have weird needles. My 138 doesn't work. The Realistic I was on last week, that doesn't seem to work that great.
Yeah, your 427's got a sticky meter. The little bearing is hung up. It's got to be adjusted.
Is that just that little, there's like a little brass-looking flathead?
Yeah. There's two of them, one on the top and one on the bottom. Usually you only have to loosen it like an eighth of a turn or something just to break it loose, and then it'll work fine again.
Yeah, that's weird, because I think it was last week I noticed it, or the week before, and I was like, it always worked fine before.
Yeah, the meter in this radio is pretty much the exact same kind of meter, and I had trouble with it at one point. I had to adjust it. It's been fine ever since.
Yeah, my 138, I think that one's stuck. I've tapped on it, nothing happened.
Yeah, sometimes, when they're stuck, you tap on them, you can make them break free again. But if there's some other problem, then no. It's not mechanical in the meter, it's something else.
You have to pop that 427 apart and take a look at it.
There's ones I've been able to open up in the past and spray some deoxit in there, freeze them up.
That was another thought process of mine. Just get it in that little tube and just touching on it.
But not all styles can be opened up without destruction.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, be careful though. I sprayed a little stuff in mine. Some of it got on the glass and kind of clouded it.
That's why I thought if I figured out exactly where to do it, you know how you can kind of like just get it to the end of the tube and just dab it in. Don't actually spray it.
Yeah, a little drop will do you.
Good old Brill Cream.
Little dab will do you.
I think I have a tube of that somewhere around the house.
What's that, Brill Cream?
Yep. Yeah, I used to use that all the time.
Who was that I was speaking to about the rescue? This Freebird.
Yeah, Spitfire. My station management will request your name because she probably knows you also. She was the vice president of Maupaw.
Yeah, my name's Eric. I basically live like across the field from him. The kind of catty corner off of G-Dale.
Yeah, so you know Doug and obviously you know Tony. Would you say Eric?
Yeah, I'm the guy that run around in the orange Gravely or a yellow tractor, a Cub Cadet. I've always, since Pat was there, since 2016, that's when I moved in here, and I think like 2017 I started doing all that.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen you. It's starting to sound familiar. I just don't remember the name, but my wife probably does. She was more involved in operations, if you will. I just did what she told me, and I like to hang out with Pat because Pat was great people. And like I said, you know, when that kennel started to go together and the Lego blocks showed up, I was involved in all that. I ran the dingo, and I cleared the ground to make the foundation and all that. Did all the rebar.
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for your help over there. Anything to get her done. Yeah, that actually turned out very nicely over there. Yeah, well, kind of went all that.
Yeah. So I'll let the station manager know your name because she was curious. I was just telling her the story when I took a nature break.
Yeah, I'm more or less known when Tony was running it. Me and Pat ran into each other. I helped him chase a couple dogs, but pretty much like the duration that Tony was running it, I was doing that kind of stuff and plowing snow in the driveway, all that kind of stuff. I didn't really get real personal or anything. Actually, I ended up buying her kid's four-wheeler and fixed it up because he blew it up and whatnot. But yeah, I didn't get too much in the drama part of it all. I hear a bit and piece here and there, but that's mainly when I was there. And then since Lorraine took it over and they were redoing things, I've been helping over there with a lot of stuff. I mean, it's been a while now, but this is going back within the last couple of years on that one.
Yeah. Well, we were helping out quite a bit in the beginning when Lorraine took over, but we've been slacking off because Lorraine. And if you know Lorraine, I don't need to explain anymore.
Yeah, every time I'm over there, yep. Well, there are a couple other women that are over there, and yeah, it's usually the deal with drama. We're not concentrated on the dogs. And, yeah, Bill.
Yeah, these people always seem to forget about the mission. As long as the mission's on the dogs, you got my help. As soon as you start doing politics and BS, I'm out.
Yep, that's a big 10-4 on that. I got time for that Mickey Mouse nonsense.
That seems to be the case with a lot of groups, no matter what you're dealing with, whether it's, dog rescues or softball teams or soccer teams or ham radio clubs. There's always politics involved. And certain people get their jollies that way, and usually it's to the detriment of all others.
It's more than that. It's any club. Just about any club. Motorcycle clubs, radio clubs, dog rescues, cat rescues. Anytime you get, a reasonable amount of people in a group run by committee, there's always some kind of power struggle. There's always differences of opinion, and it becomes the power struggle, politics, and BS. I'm out, because you forgot about the mission that you got together for in the first place.
Yep, cut out the nonsense and act like a normal human being the way you're created to act, and stop playing around. Nobody's any better than the other. It doesn't need to be a competition. It doesn't need to be a big drama show. It's just, that's why I like talking on this station with you guys. Everybody gets along pretty well. We help each other out, and there doesn't really just seem to be a whole lot of conflict, not in that way anyway.
Yeah, there's no power struggle. We're all out here for a good time to better a cause. The mission is the betterment of Citizens Band Radio and the greater Pottstown area.
Yeah, classic radio roundup.
Yeah, we all know what the world's about, the struggles and all that, but here we sit here and just yap back and forth, and have a good time. I like it.
I like the small worldism that crops up every once in a while. The whole thing that, about you and I both volunteering at that same rescue for many years, over 10 years now. So that's kind of cool, and that stuff pops up, There's people that I know from elsewhere, and I wind up meeting them here on the radio, or vice versa. It's always kind of fun.
Yeah, it is actually amazing that you actually run into people that you didn't even know you run into. Yeah, it's amazing we somehow got into that conversation of the husky. Yeah, you brought it up about your Malamute, and then one thing led to the next, and yep.
The world is much smaller than we really realize.
Yeah, my 97-pound husky.
Yeah, nickname Lardass.
No, actually his nickname is Wubba Wubba Wubba.
There was a detour on, 662, and I had to take the back way and jump past the detour, and I kept going past that husky house. And it's funny, the funny thing is, Pete, as soon as you started talking about your husky, I started thinking about that place. And then how you said that there's no dogs there. I've never seen any dogs, and I thought, well, maybe they're all in the back, which I'm sure they were, if there was any. But I never really seen any new cars. The only thing I ever seen around that area is just down to the left. If you're passing the place and it's on your right, it's a couple of cop cars sitting down there exchanging words or whatever they were doing.
Yeah, they're going to sit there. They have an actual gun range right there that nobody else is allowed to go on, but yeah, that's literally right across from the Big Red Barn. So, yeah, the only time I see anybody actually over at the rescue, they'll come like every now and again on a Sunday. A couple of them will come from Jersey and they'll do some work or whatever. They had a guy there maybe a year and a half ago. I think his name was Nick or Jay or something. He had like a electrical truck with a bucket and all that. He was supposed to be there like doing what we were talking about earlier, but yeah, that didn't work out. Something went down there. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to get too involved. Pretty sure I got my tree stand off the property though, but that went missing. He'd be like my first suspect on that. But yeah, I don't know what happened there or where he went.
Alright, so that explains the big gate, after the pull off and the no trespassing signs. Okay, 10-4, across the road, 10-4.
Yeah, they built that township police gun range only a few years back. So that's kind of new there, right across the street from the Husky House / Maupaw. But things were really good when it was Maupaw. And then it started to fall apart towards the end of that, and then there was a transition period that was really kind of bad with these other people kind of running the show.
and then it got wrestled out of their hands, and Husky House took over with grand plans, and I'm like, we're all, yeah, and it all, like, for whatever reason, you know, it's kind of falling apart from their original mission, and I don't really understand why. I mean, I really don't, because I don't know what, but I'm not in charge. I'm just a worker bee.
Yeah, I hear that. The original mission was for them to get that going again after fixing it up. They fought tooth and nail, all kinds of money and whatnot they put into that. Because basically, Tyranny, when she was running it from when it was Smallball, they basically, like, tried to turn off the middle guy and all that. And she basically thought that she owned the place, and she made it murderous hell for the place, for Lorraine and them to actually get the place. That went on for like literally a year or so, courts and all that. As far as the township thing, the gun range, yeah, they actually had the Army Corps of Engineers come in there and they dug all that up and put the sides and all this and that. So that's been a gun range there. Gotta be at least 2.5, maybe 3 years now. Yeah, they'll be over there banging rounds off. When they do show up there, it's very consistent. It's like weeks, a couple weeks in a row, and then they won't be there at all for a month, and then they'll be back, and they'll just be over there banging away, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night.
Right, because of the, requirements for training.
Yeah, bottom line, that's what it's about, yeah.
Well, anyway, it is just about that time. So I want to get out of here and say goodnight. And hope everybody had a good April Fool's Day. So we'll conclude the April Fool's edition of Classic Radio Roundup, and I'm going to go that away. We'll do it again next week, hopefully. All things considered, and God willing.
Sounds like a plan. I'm here 10-7 myself. Good to talk to y'all. Good conversation. Everybody have a very good Easter holiday, and God bless. Don't forget what it's about. And catch up with you all later. Take care.
Hey, before you go, what radio you running tonight? I forgot to ask.
TRC 451.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Sounds very good. All right. Have a good evening. We'll catch up with you later.
And I'm right behind. Thanks for the fun. Thanks for the good conversation. See y'all on Sunday night. And those who don't do that, we'll see you next Wednesday on Classic Radio Roundup. 7-3 again. Thanks for the fun. Your countywide radio.
Catch you, sandbaggers. Catch you, Pete. It's realistic. That thing is smoking.
Catch you later there, Peter. Have a good one. Enjoy. Till next time. Oh, JR, we go.
See you later, Pete. Handbagger.
We're all jumping ship.
Green dog, you're a mud duck.
Dude, I'm just trying to do the classic radio thing.
Yeah, you're trying too hard.
I don't know. Maybe I gotta send this radio off.
You just gotta turn the amp on, that's all.
It is on.
Oh, God.
Ruh-roh. Alright, guys. I want to turn the knobs to the right. Actually, I don't have a knob. I want to push this button. I'll talk to you guys later.
Catch you later, Joker. Have a good one. Yeah, it's all my deal with the mountain I gotta deal with. Not picking on too much. But anyway, Joker, catch you later. Good to hear you in there.
Catch you later, Joker.
Catch you, man. And whoever I'm forgetting, don't mean to forget. It just happens.
Oh, trust me, that goes with the age. Constantly forgetting. Oh, yeah.
I think you heard 1, 2, 3.
Yep, 1, 2, 3.
I heard him.
Anyway, you guys carry on. Have a good night. Have a good week. And talk to you next time.
Catch you later, Joker. And who was that underneath, Joker?
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Green Dog. You know, that's why I really didn't talk to you tonight. I could barely hear you.
It's like talking to the wife.